Hello there, Golden Bears. I hope you're well today. Again, thank you to ASB and the BSU for inviting me to come and share yet again on another key important figure in early an advocate for the civil rights movement. My name is Mr. Baumstieg and I teach U.S. history here, and it is a privilege to have been on campus here since 1993. So today we look at W.E.B. DuBois. Similar to Booker T. Washington, who we looked at yesterday, where Booker T. Washington advocated for change to come from the ground up, to where economics should be used to be a driving force for change and allow the African American experience to slowly create change in the landscape. We have another African American leader here from the same region of Georgia, same backstory of growing poor, coming through the public school system, and went on to go graduate actually from Harvard and became a teacher and an educator and an influencer for the African American movement. But unlike Booker T. Washington, W.E.B. DuBois was actually frustrated that Washington's approach was way too slow and demanded far more subservient of an attitude of this. He then went on to write a book that was called The Souls of Black Folk, and it is there that he basically denounced Booker T. Washington's methodology, and he said that we need to have a gradual political plan that called for the following: the right to vote now, civil equality now, and let us get more and more African Americans opportunity to get a liberal arts education. He called it the talented 10%. He then went on to create this organization called the NAACP, which still to this day exists. Over 2,200 chapters of it exist. And the idea was the only way that we're going to really create institutional fundamental changes if we start at the top and work our way down. And it's going to start with changing the laws, namely, like for instance, Plessy versus Ferguson, and where it was called separate but equal. He says we need to challenge that so that way all children of African American descent have the opportunity to experience life equally as though the Declaration of Independence and the 13th, the 14th, the 15th amendments allowed for. So W.E.B. DuBois and Booker T. Washington, two important key leaders in the early years of the civil rights movement and advocacy. What I want to bring to you is how shall we respond to this, is that although Booker T. Washington had one approach of saying, let's start from below, and then W.E.B. DuBois said, let's start from above, we need to recognize that although they had two different approaches, they had one common cause, and that is unity and equality for all. What is mindful for us is that in 2021, we need to recognize that even within a movement of civil rights and equity for all, America still allows for divergent opinion. But the key thing that we need to be mindful of is this idea that how can we work collectively for a common cause, and how can we find common ground between this calling for unity. So with that, Golden Bears, I appreciate your time and hope you have a good rest of the day.